Huh? Here I am. I am happy to say I'm home. Well, I am happy to say I'm home, but at the same time, it certainly was a great adventure. And oh God, looks like I have my hair cut too short in front. Anyway, so I was kind of wanting to do a little wind up, an epilogue on my adventure. And there's a few things that I wanted to tell you first. Can you believe I'm back a week already? I'm shocked. It seems like it was forever ago, and here it is, a week already. So I'm happy to be back around my family. And I came home, and of course the healing has only begun. It's not done. Still, but I've made some adjustments, and that's something that's really important. If you were to ask me, did I have the aha moment about what it was all about, to be perfectly honest, I'd have to tell you no. But I do know absolutely it was the thing I needed to do. I feel that inside. Sometimes we feel things inside and we don't do it. We have all these logical, critical things inside of us that tell us that we can't do it, shouldn't do it, don't know how to do it, whatever. And I'm going to really encourage you to listen more to Spirit that tells you to do it. And Jesus had the perfect answer, because he said, you will know by their fruits. And I'm sure you've got enough foresight to think about what will be the fruit of this, what will be the ultimate outcome of this when it's over. And for me, the ultimate outcome was having some peace of mind and a little edge off of the grief. So anyway, so I wanted to make sure I told you a few things. One of the things was about what I just said, about how fast life goes and the changes. And I may have said this in one of my videos or not, but it totally bears repeating. Went to get gas one day, and the guy says, "Have a good day." I said, "You too." He goes, "Yeah, it's just going too slow." Don't please ever think it's going too slow. It may be going too slow when you're in pain or frustrated or anxious, but it's never going too slow. Because, like, for me, my firstborn turned 50 this year, and I don't know how he did it, because somewhere along the line he passed me by. So please treasure your moments. I'm back to work, and now that I'm back to work at the campground, and I do manage to, the time fills up with the newsletter and little chores around the campground and other than things about my own life. And you think, man, it is so good that I got away, because I dumped it all. I didn't have to make my bed in the morning. I didn't have to make my breakfast. I didn't have to do anything. And the food that I brought with me, for other meals to save money, that was all pre-cooked. All I did was heat it up. So I didn't have any of those things. And that's something we don't get everywhere. So you want to keep that in mind, especially if you're trying to get over something like, healing from a personal tragedy. So a couple of other things I wanted to mention that have no relativity at all, except that they amaze me. One of them, I don't think I told you, on the road, I saw triple tandems. You've seen the 18-wheelers, the tractor trailers that pull another 18-wheeler. This had 3. They were like flipping little trains going down the road, and you're like, ugh, do I dare pass them? And they're going like this. I don't know if I want to pass, but they're not going that fast, and I got to get up this hill. So, yeah, that was real exciting. Those tandems were really exciting. I wanted to share that I had a huge victory that you may not see as a victory, but I did, and that was I did an absolutely perfect parallel park when I was out there looking for the Madonna of the Plains or something like that. Oh my God, I have not parallel parked in 30 years. I remembered all the instructions. Those things you don't forget. Line up. Steering wheel to steering wheel. Cut it all the way. Back in. Straighten out. Good. I was just thrilled. I did one great parallel part, so that was the other thing. If you looked at my video, my pictures in the album, you may not have noticed that it's scary sick grieve past that I went on, that I posted a video of. If you could see it, go back and see if you can find right before I got into Oatman. Is the picture of the past, but there's a picture of this donkey burro staring me down nose to nose with my car. And if you look over to the side there, you'll see guardrails behind the donkey. I wouldn't count on them a whole lot. I wouldn't trust my life with them. But right before the donkey, there is just a drop off right to the right of me. So check that out. That was something else I wanted to make sure that I told you about. Let's see. Okay, when I got home, it is the season. 'Tis the season, you know. I know some of us have seen the advertise, the Christmas decorations in the store. I'm really nervous about Christmas. I don't know how I'm going to get through that one, but I'm sure God will provide a means. But anyway, I got 21 or 24 charity donation things in the time I was gone. Talk about getting slammed. Did I get a check in the mail? No, but I sure got some charity stuff. And you know how I feel about that. There's charities that we really should give to, and there's some charities we're not so sure about, and there's some charities that are not ours to support. I do try to support, and I don't want to be on their list. I don't want to be getting 30 some odd. You know, I want to pick who I want to give to. But I do have a method, which you may think is wacky, but it's what I do. I get $5 bills. If there's any identifying information on the what I send back, I cross it all off. I put a $5 bill or whatever in the envelope and I mail it. And the ones that are pre-stamped, they're the ones that go first. So I feel like I'm contributing. And if I have, you know what, if you've got, you should be giving. You really should. If you got, give. So somehow they're finding me, so I got to go back to the do not mail list. But I had 23. But I wanted to share with you about something that helps me make that decision. You can go online and look up Charity Navigator. That will give you a report on all the various charities out there, so you'll know where your money is going. You'll know how much of it is put into the programs and how much goes into administration and stuff. So, and it has a rating. So yeah, I came home to that. It was like being slammed in the face with, here we are, back at life. But I think that was pretty much, I want to tell you about a couple of things about why you don't do what you need to do, because I had to come face to face with it. One of the reasons that we don't do what we want to do is we don't feel competent or capable. And then all we need is something very small to happen that assures, that affirms our fear that we are incompetent or incapable. So when I went on the road, it reminds me of my 7th grade music teacher who told me I had more nerve than brains. Hey, I belong to Mensa. You know what kind of nerve that means? It's not all the nerve that you may think it is. But anyway, I did have the courage to go on the road. And then I had 2 incidents I want to share with you that made me question myself. That really shouldn't. It's all how we look at it. The first incident is that I was in a very heavy, traffic-y place, and I was listening to my GPS, and my GPS said, turn left. And of course, my GPS is down there and I'm up here, so I didn't want to look down. So I turned left on a one-way street with all cars coming out of it. And you went, oh, geez, I'm an idiot. And I had to figure out, where do I go from here? How do I back up? And a few of the people were very nice, and some are going like, what the hell's the matter with you? Yeah, look at my license plate. I'm from Connecticut, for God's sake. So I did I found my way to back out and turn and go down the other way. So that was instance number one. And that would be the moment, thank you, that would be the moment you would think to yourself, I'm turning around and I'm just heading back to Connecticut because I'm not up for this. Now, the second one was an incident where I thought I was surely an idiot and thought I did not deserve to be out on the road because I was just not competent. We all have those moments. And if you wish to share a moment of incompetence with me via private message or post it on here if you got the guts. So I went to this little town where it's the same town where the Roadkill Cafe was. And I was driving down the street and all of a sudden I realized, oh my goodness, this is the address, I got to pull over. So I looked around and I pulled over and parked on the far side of the road, you know, the one where the cars are going that way. But it was a small area, so it really didn't matter. Well, it did matter, but not like you couldn't park in that direction. So I opened the door and I realized that I'm like, Yadi's far from the curb. And I'm thinking, do I get back in and repark? What do I do? So I kind of went around the car and I want to take a couple pictures while I'm out here. Click, 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 click. And then, I saw this little store and I said, gee, maybe they got that Annie Mouse book that I'm looking for. So I ran over to the store, ran in. Do you have the book? No. Down the street. Ran into the next door. Do you have that Annie Mouse book? Nope. Ah, crud. So I turn around. I come out. I'm walking down toward my car. My car door is wide open. It's been wide open since I opened it and took a couple pictures and got distracted. Now, mind you, you have to know this. Every time I stopped, even to take a picture, I close the door and lock it. I had a method. This was it. Lock the door only from the outside with your automatic beep beep, you know. And so I had that always. That was I was mortally afraid I was going to lock my keys in the car. So I had a process, and that was get out, close the door, lock the car, even if you're just taking a picture. I did that the whole trip. I walk out of that store, walking back toward my car. There's the door wide open. Bunch of people on motorcycles all hanging all around it. Not looking at it, just hanging around, you know, chatting on the side of the sidewalk and stuff like that. I said to them, was that way all the time? And they said, yeah. And I said, idiot! What an idiot! And I was pretty humiliated. And I felt pretty stupid. Then I realized there were two really important things with that incident. The first one, I had a miracle. I mean, anybody could have, I had the keys, nobody was taking the car. That would have been a real idiot. No. So anyway, so I realized that anybody could have taken anything from my car, possibly hotwired the car and taken it. And my computer was in the car. I had my camera. So the good news is, the miracles, number one, is the absolute truth. And in times, especially like now, we have to know there are by far, far, far and wide stretches more good people than people who are not good. Secondly, that I had done things that were very, very smart before I left, which included backing up my hard drive. And I had my camera with me, so I had all the pictures I'd taken with me, plus most of them were, I'd already put a bunch of them online, so I wouldn't have lost everything. Worst thing that happened, you know, I would have lost the computer, but I had my information. So think about that if you're ever feeling incompetent. Everybody makes mistakes, but you can't let the mistakes keep you from taking the moves, the chances that may take you where you need to go in life. So that was an important thing that I wanted to share. I also wanted to underscore the importance of taking, this is my hand sanitizer. Sammy bought that for me. You need to have your hand sanitizer when you go on a trip like that, because you've heard some of my bathroom stories, and I needed to have that hand sanitizer separately. It's not just for sanitizing your hands, if you get what I mean. Well, this has been a fun journey. I'm home. I will one day, my next step is to update my personal journal, and I'm going to make a collage of many of the things that I experienced, some of my favorite things. So drive, I did drive. Pray, I did pray. My prayer life is coming back to its normal now, and I can't tell you enough how important it is to establish a prayer time, whatever that looks like to you. My prayer time includes having coffee with God in the morning and journaling and a appreciation journal, gratitude journal, and healing. The healing's happening. It's going to take a long time. Saturday night when I came home Thursday night. I kind of recovered a little bit Friday. Actually jumped right back into doing stuff at the campground because it's what I love, in addition to other things. And Saturday night I went on the Lady Catherine cruise for a murder mystery adventure dinner, and God put me with a young couple and a couple of young women who were all just about Sammy's age. So it was kind of like, in a way, going out with her, that energy. And we had blast. I was so totally out there, me, that I haven't been in a long time, and it felt so good. So it was kind of like God putting the icing on the cake before I closed the door to that adventure. And opened the door, who knows, to whatever adventure awaits. Thank you for joining me on my journey. It's been so much fun. I've looked forward to talking to you every day. And I hope to see you live online in one way or another soon. God bless. Bye-bye. And probably still on.